Another best woman coming to the stand here. Round of applause for Andrea, please.
Kia ora, everyone. It's a real privilege to be here. When Rachel first asked me to be part of her wedding party, I felt truly honoured. I was thinking I was going to be a bridesmaid, and then about 3 or 4 weeks ago she said, oh, by the way, you're the maid of honour, which we've decided best woman is kind of a much better way to describe it. And I thought, oh wow, I've been promoted. I felt really special, it was great. And then it dawned on me 3 or 4 weeks ago I would need to make a speech. And so I followed a trend apparently, and I turned to those amazing tools called Google and YouTube before the panic set in. Well, Google offered 8 handy hints on what a maid of honour should say. YouTube was a little different. What it did have was we are sisters, we're the maid of honour. And who shared funny stories about what each did when they were growing up and shared those experiences as they grew together. At this point I would like to acknowledge Rachel's sister Margaret. Margaret, who I'm sure is here with us, I never met Margaret, is here with us in spirit, but unfortunately no longer walks this earth. So I'd just like us to take a moment and raise our glasses to absent friends and family. So while we are not sisters by blood, we are union sisters. I was delighted to meet Rachel when I moved to Auckland, was working for the CTU. I was working in a union building that was completely male dominated. So it was amazing to find this really great woman, and we found really quickly that we shared really common values, and we had a great sense of humour that we both shared. I've worked with Rachel in a number of roles over the year. She is my colleague. She is one of the many women who have been my mentor. She is currently my boss. And most importantly, she is my dear, dear friend and union sister. And Clay's already talked about this, but one of the things that Rachel and I did lots was we go to meetings, we go to events, and we go to trainings together. And it was great when we went to the living wage training, bringing the community and the faith and the unions together. And you see very quickly that Rachel and Clay had started to form a very firm friendship that again was based on values, really deep-seated in a sense of union justice and kindness. Betsy's going to talk more about Rachel and Clay as a couple, but I really wanted to just say a few more things about Rachel. So I thought, how do I do this? So I went back to Google and I put in 5 words that for me describes Rachel. Feminist, staunch, loyal, honest and kind. And just this morning I found a poem by A. Harkness called A Powerful Woman that I'd like to share with you now. She rises from her adversity but never forgets her origins. She learns from her past but chooses to keep moving forward even when her steps get heavy. She transforms her pain and suffering into strength and wisdom. Yes, she may stumble. Yes, sometimes she may fall. But just like the sun, she will always rise. She is equipped with an intuition that guides her course like a compass. She strives to love herself and all that she stands for, even when it's difficult. She is not afraid to seek the truth, even when it hurts. She is passionate and uses her gifts to inspire and spread light and love. She embodies authenticity and humanity. She has a mind of wonder and a heart of goodness and grit. She is resilient and refuses to be negated by fear and doubt. She knows where she has been, where she is, and where she is headed. She loves deeply, lives with compassion, and is relentless and unapologetic. She is designed to be admired, but not always liked. She is fierce, determined, and unstoppable. She is a powerful woman. So as Rachel and Clay continue to move through their life together, I know that Clay will continue to support this strong, powerful woman in the work that she does, as he has done ever since they met. Thank you.
That's very lovely. And we have, well, the second best woman. It's pretty good to have two best women.
No, second
So,
best. Don't say that.
No,
That's not second
oh,
best.
I didn't mean like that. Come on, there was a comma there or something. The second comma, best woman. I like having two best women at the table. Betsy!
And what a joy it is for us all to be here, to be celebrating with Rachel and Clay this evening. And what a delight and privilege it is for me to be Clay's best woman. And I also have been the recipient of Clay's generosity, as has Nina. Both of us this evening are wearing necklaces that Clay has given us. And I know for both of us it means a lot. Thank you, Clay. 6 years ago, in my role as chair of the church management committee, I had a call from Clay asking if we might be looking for a minister to fill a recent vacancy. I'd heard and admired Clay when he was an occasional speaker at our church, but never dreamed that he'd consider becoming our minister. For Unitarians, known for our lengthy deliberations, our democratic appointment process moved unusually quickly, and a few months later, with the unanimous support of all members of our church, Clay took up the position. We could hardly believe our good fortune. Later that year, I remember Clay introducing me to Rachel, describing her as a friend he'd met through the living wage movement. And at that moment, it was clear to me the chemistry between them was more than just a shared commitment to a fair and just world. And yet that very commitment, along with their being so well matched intellectually and spiritually, is what makes their relationship such a special one. Max Moss, who's here, our Minister Emeritus, describes Clay as a political refugee from the U.S. and Rachel as a political soulmate. When I first met Clay, I asked him what motivated him to become a minister. Among the reasons he gave was his desire to establish and nurture communities. Looking back over the last 5 to 6 years, that's precisely what he and Rachel have done together. Within our community, Rachel always stands alongside Clay, providing input as well as support in her characteristically quiet and extremely competent way. Theirs is truly an equal partnership, and I can imagine them having these lingering evening meals, sharing the challenges and concerns of their working day, as well as discussing politics and current affairs. Each Sunday, Rachel can be found in Clay's office, photocopying and folding the orders of service that we all take for granted when we arrive at church. Our annual quiz nights with Rachel as our strict but sometimes forgiving quiz and Liz, and Clay as her trusty assistant, have kept us on our toes, but also in stitches, with quips and threats of penalty if we go out of line. Many underestimate the time that Rachel devotes to the church, especially as our newsletter editor, always a thankless task. She's always working with her inimical efficiency and rarely with recognition. She is the consummate vicar's wife. Rachel is also, as we all know, quick to the mark when it comes to quips, with profound meaning. Unlike many of us, at our church, she never lights a candle for anything trivial, nor does she take the stage for long. I was reminded of this on the Sunday following the election in the UK, when she lit a candle of concern for the divided kingdom. And Clay followed with the comment that he was of the same mind. On a lighter note, I'll never forget the time Rachel was carrying Zorro, who some of you may not realize, was Clay's beloved but aging dog. And immediately there was a bond, I could tell, between Rachel and Zorro. So Rachel was carrying Zorro down the front steps of our church, alongside Josie Coker, the oldest member of our church. Josie commented that Zorro and she were alike in needing help down the stairs. Rachel's response was, but at least you don't piddle on the carpet. There is no question that in their bond, Clay and Rachel have strengthened ours as a community. In his recent sermon, entitled O Karma Dharma Pudding Pie, Clay highlighted that although we have our 7 principles as aspirational statements, when it comes to defining Unitarianism, the question is not one of belief, but of relationship. Clay and Rachel, together you have continued to pursue and so successfully sustain Clay's lifelong commitment to establishing and nurturing community. And we are so lucky to have you both. What's more, it's so clear to us all how much you love and cherish each other. You are the glue in our community as well as an inspiration to us all. In a moment, I will ask you all to raise your glasses to Clay and Rachel in recognition of all they have given us, and most importantly, to their very special relationship. Rachel and Clay, those of us who are Unitarians, are not likely to describe your union as having been made in heaven. But I think I'm safe in saying that it definitely was written in the stars. So please join me in raising your glass.
The boss, but there's a whole bunch of people in this room who are our colleagues, including Rachel, saying, yeah, right. So what a wonderful wedding, and what a great honour to be invited. And as I said, there are a number of Rachel's colleagues here, and we tend to take all of our leave, or most of it, over this period, and then so the rest of the year's freed up, for the struggle. And so we're kind of coming towards the end of that. There's this kind of feel of the end of the summer, and the end of the summer holidays. And what's that expression? The end of the summer wine or whatever. So back to work next week. But what a wonderful way to finish that beautiful summer break. I might add that a whole number of people that I know of here have travelled quite a long way to be here. Basil Levon flew in from Liverpool just to be here, I have to say. But what a wonderful way to finish the summer, to celebrate the wedding of our dear comrade and sister, Rachel and Clay, who's such a cool guy. Someone once, I read this thing once somewhere, or I heard it, that someone said, the only thing in life worth a damn is love, art and politics. And in that beautiful church, which I've gone past so many times and never been in, that beautiful church this afternoon, I was going to say the craftsmanship, but you know, the craftship that's gone into that building. It's just such an honour and so beautiful to sit in a building like that. And the love, but also in that room, but the art, and it's being mentioned, but I'd like to mention it. What a privilege it is to sit there, listen to someone like Ross Tippett playing and singing, Sophie in that beautiful song, the reading of was it the Relevant Rabbit? Anyway, you know, that is just so beautiful. I would like to just acknowledge briefly the Unitarian Church people who are here, including a couple sitting beside me and a couple I met last week on a deck in O'Reilly Point. And how lovely it is to meet such lovely people here and to share this with you and to be among you with you. I was going to just wish Clay and Rachel good luck, but I mean, you don't want luck, do you? I mean, it's just to be, you've had that. It's about, I love that vow or commitment that Clay made to listen. Did you pick that up? He committed to listen. So here's to listening to those that we love.
You can't say that to a former politician. I've been waiting for hours and hours for to dominate the mic. Kia ora koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui. First of all, I'd just like to acknowledge the families of the bride and groom, because I think what we don't recognise often is a wedding is about coming together of families. It's about our whakapapa, our genealogy, and now you can't get away from each other's families or each other, which is great. And also, I've learned a lot from this evening. Will you do my laundry? Because I actually need someone to do it. So obviously you've proved competent. She even married you for it. So yeah, I think you could just throw my stuff in with Rachel's. That'd be great. My question, my name's Catherine Delahunty. I've known Rachel for quite a long time. We met at the Greens. That's not her fault. And it's not mine either. But I'm really glad about belonging to a group is good because you meet amazing people. So I met Rachel. And Clay, not so long. When I met Rachel and we became close friends and she became part of our Kōtari whānau, Kōtari Education Trust, we're at the back, we're like a group of ageing radicals who really still think it's worth trying. But actually, she said that she'd fallen in love with an American religious person. I was like, oh my God. This is not what I thought the unions did to people. It's like, it doesn't quite kind of, and then I thought, oh, maybe it's Billy Graham. And that would be good, you know. What could go wrong? Rachel, Mackintosh and Billy Graham. And then I had the privilege of meeting Clay. And he was as funny and as charismatic as Billy without being a homicidal sociopath. So, you know, that was good. I thought, that's a bloody good start. You know? He's actually a real person. And that's all you want in life, is a real person to put up with you and you put up with them. So, I mean, my question to the audience is, will they last? You know? Like, do they really... Obviously, they like talking about politics and they like cats. But is that enough? Dogs. Oh my God, sorry, dogs. But I think it is enough in this case. I think we can have faith. You know, we've all been to weddings and things where you go, seems like a good idea to them, but we're really not putting money on it. I mean, I've given the present because it's a good thing, but I just get a feeling that these two, they will manage it. Yeah, they will put it together. Because I've got a new theory about weddings, which is no one should be allowed to get married till they're a grandparent. I think, you know, it's a good place to start. Wait till you're a grandparent before then you can prove you're really good at being committed. And you really understand what's important in life. And I think these two, you know, I know it's just all about sex and charisma, you two, not about, you know, the hard stuff. But hey, I think you're going to be great. On a more more serious note, I've probably wasted all my time. Is that right? She says I have to finish. Oh well. Okay, sorry. I won't tell you the really interesting stuff I knew about Rachel. or here comes Billy Graham.
I need to tell you that the first time I went to Qatar, I don't know where Rachel was. She was gone somewhere.
Harvard.
Harvard.
Speaking French.
I've heard of that. Anyway, she was off at Harvard, and Catherine and Gordon, her partner, grilled me over every meal to make sure I was acceptable. And I still remember that the interview process was strenuous.
Well, you know, activists, we occasionally make mistakes. So okay, that's enough said, isn't it? Activists, please make mistakes. I'd just like to say thank you very much for inviting us. I'm speaking for Kotari and for other families. You're wonderful people. This is a wonderful occasion, and you've given a lot to our lives, and you'll continue to do it because you're awesome. And, you know, like, I wanted to be a maid of honour, but then I'd have to have surgery. No, that's not what you say at a wedding. Okay, fine.
I was worried I was like losing the mic for a while there. And now we have Tom who's going to do the last little speech of the night.
Kia ora koutou, my name is Tom. I'm Rachel's little brother. Here to speak on behalf of the family and whānau. First of all, I'd just like to acknowledge our father and Margaret, who obviously have passed, but I know that they would have loved to have been there today. I know that they have supported you both. So here's just thinking about them. It's very clear in the time that the two of you have been together just how you are, you know, peas from the same pod, in all manner of your views on life and the world, and you're both deeply, deeply involved and committed yourselves to enhancing the lives of others. And so I think it's really only fitting that the two of you have found each other, and it's really that's amazing to see that. I'm sure that it enhances you as individuals and as a couple, but that also we as a community and the world will benefit from that because you'll enhance each other and you'll be able to do greater things as well. So just keep it very short, but I hope that the happiness that you have at the moment continues to grow and flourish into the future. I'd like you to raise your glasses, please. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, a union that's blessed with feminism, Google, poetry, politics, ministers, preaching, and of course the living wage. You're going to have a very successful time together. So could we all please stand up while Clay and Rachel make their way to the cake? Because they will be broken down to create a dance.
Let me